Hello everyone. Dear friends, today we are learning a new lesson, a lesson which is very interesting and it is about science. So, here if I say science, you need not feel it may be difficult lesson. It is an interesting lesson and you will really enjoy this. The main objective of this lesson is comprehension, development of comprehension skill, and it prepares you for the next level. Okay. Well, before going to the lesson, just look at these two pictures and try to identify them. Can you see? Can you see, my dear students? Look at these two pictures. Yes, you are right. This is Sir M. Vishveshwaraya and this is C.V. Raman, the great Indian scientists. The great Indian scientists. They have contributed a lot for the development of science. Science answers almost every problem of our life. It builds hope in us. Yes, science builds hope in us, hope of survival. Science and hope of survival. This is the lesson that you are learning today. See, I have told you science helps us, science gives us hope, and we have the best example, the present example of coronavirus. We are eagerly waiting that scientists will do something. We will get some vaccines and medicines to free ourselves from this clutches of corona. We are looking at scientists that they will protect us. Yes. So, here there is another scientist you will be introduced with, and that is our dear Kalis Barak. This is Kalis Barak, a Russian scientist. This is Kalis Barak. Who is this? Kalis Barak, Vladimir Kalis Barak. He is the writer of this lesson and he is a Russian scientist. He is a Russian scientist. He is a Russian mathematical geophysicist and seismologist. He is a Russian scientist, a mathematical geophysicist and seismologist. What is geophysicist? Do you know? In Kannada, it is Bhubhauta Shastrajna. Seismologist is Bhukampa Shastrajna. And he was the founder of International Institute of Earthquake Prediction in Moscow. And he also attempted to predict earthquake with the help of his theory. The Americans appreciated his theory of prediction of earthquake. Americans appreciated his theory of prediction of earthquake. Yes, this is about the writer of this lesson, Kalis Barak. He is a Russian writer and his field of study is geological physics and seismography or science about earthquake. Yes, shall we move to the textbook? All of you open your textbooks. Yes, science and hope of survival. If you are so clever, why are you so poor? Popular expression. Why is that some of us still decide to become scientists despite the fact that businessmen, lawyers and doctors enjoy a much higher income? A famous Russian writer Leo Tolstoy once wrote that a writer is not merely a person who writes. A writer is a person who cannot live without writing. The same, I believe, is true of a scientist. Science is an exciting adventure where major reward comes from the discovery itself. What you get instead of money is freedom, camaraderie, and independence. The honors and promotions will depend on yourself more than in other occupations, and you will have the overwhelming feeling of uncovering yet another one of nature's mystery. Yes. Dear students, the beginning of the lesson, you will find a beautiful sentence. See, if you are so clever, why are you so poor? It is a popular expression. The scientists are the most clever people, but do you think they are the richest? Never, never, because they are not charmed by wealth or money. Then what is their reward? How are they rewarded? The discovery itself is their reward. Discovery itself is their reward. So, therefore, it is said, if you are so clever, why are you poor? Yes. And we know that if you want to be a scientist, you cannot earn money, you cannot make money, or you cannot become very rich. Still, some of us would like to be scientists. Why? And that was the expression of Kellis Burke, our scientist. So, he says, why is that some of us still decide to become scientists, despite the fact that businessmen, lawyers and doctors enjoy a much higher income? You may be knowing it very well, the richest men in the world are not scientists. It may be either businessmen or the lawyers or also some other people following some other profession. So, therefore, scientists will never be rich. And here, being a Russian, Kellis Burke, being a Russian, uses the example of his own country, and he says a famous Russian writer, Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy is a famous Russian writer, and he has written a work, War and Peace. War and Peace. And he says, see, he once wrote about the writers. A famous Russian writer, Leo Tolstoy, once wrote that writer is not merely a person who writes. We cannot call anybody who writes as a writer. So, writer is not a person who merely writes. Then who is a writer? Writer is a person who cannot live without writing, who cannot live without writing. And here the writer is bringing similarity between the writer and the scientist. He brings similarity between the writer and the scientists. And he says, like the writers, even scientists cannot live without finding the truth of nature, without finding the truth of nature. So, a writer is a person who cannot live without writing. The same, I believe, is true of a scientist. Science is an exciting adventure. It is a really exciting, means very emotional. It is an exciting adventure where major reward comes from the discovery itself. As I have already told in the beginning, what is their reward? What is the reward for the scientist? Is it money? Is it wages they get, or is it the monetary reward they get? No, they never charmed. They are never charmed by these monetary rewards. Then what else is their reward? Their reward is discovery. Discovery itself is the reward. What you get instead of money? So then what you get instead of money? If you are a scientist, what do you get instead of money? That is freedom, camaraderie. What is camaraderie? Camaraderie is a feeling of friendship. Feeling of friendship or brotherly feeling. Feeling of friendship. So, what do you get instead of money? What do you get as a reward? Yes, you will get camaraderie. Camaraderie. Camaraderie is feeling of friendship or feeling of brotherhood. Feeling of companionship. And is it only camaraderie that you are getting? You will also get independence, freedom, independence. The honors and promotions will depend on yourself more than in other occupations. Unlike in other occupations, promotions and honors will purely depend on yourself or oneself, one who is scientist, on himself itself. That depends, honors and promotions. And you will have the overwhelming feeling. What is overwhelming? Overwhelming means extremely happy, feeling of extreme happiness. And you will have the overwhelming feeling of uncovering yet another one of nature's mystery, yet another one of nature's mystery. Yes, scientists will be very happy to uncover, to open the nature's mystery. What is mystery? Mystery means which was not known by many. In Kannada, it is rahasya, which was not known by many. That is called mystery. So, scientists will be charmed, they will be happy to uncover nature's mystery and find the truth. Yes, so far we have seen 3 scientists. I showed you 3 scientists and you have one more scientist to see. I will tell you about him, that is Frank Press. Frank Press. Who is this Frank Press? Frank Press was an American geophysicist. Once again, I have introduced this word to you in the beginning. What is geophysicist? Geophysicist is Bhubhauta Shastrajna. Frank Press was a geophysicist of America. He was an advisor to the American presidents. He wrote about Earth and understanding Earth. Yes. Shall we look at the next part in the lesson? Will you please open your textbook and look at the textbook? An instant understanding, the efficiency of thought and action, and a good feeling that comes when the like-minded people work together. Who said this? Do you know? This is none other than Frank Press. Just now I have introduced one scientist and he said, an instant understanding, the efficiency of thought. Instant understanding means quick understanding. The efficiency of thought and action and a good feeling that comes when the like-minded people work together. When the people with similar thought, when the people having same thought work together, it can help by giving them quick understanding and efficiency of thought and action and good feeling among themselves. What is that good feeling among themselves? That is camaraderie. Camaraderie, the feeling of friendship, feeling of friendship. Yes, let us proceed forward. It was 1960, the height of the Cold War. I was in Moscow doing research on the theory of seismic waves, tremors generated by an earthquake. I was absorbed in my problem. I enjoyed the mathematical challenge. I did not give much thought to how it connects with the real life. So, what was his subject of study? What was his aspect of study? That is seismology. What is seismology? What is seismology? Seismology is study of earthquakes, study of earthquakes. Next paragraph, I had mentioned you about Cold War. Have you anybody heard about this Cold War? What is Cold War? Yes, all of you have studied it in your social lessons, Sheetala Samara, isn't it? Sheetala Samara. So, what do you know about this? What do you know about this, about the Cold War? Yes, the whole world divided into two blocks, right? Yes, the whole world is broken to two blocks. Who is the leader of one block? It is the, yes, it is the USA, and the other block, who is the leader of the other block? Yes, it is USSR. The whole world was broken into two divisions. One is headed by USA and the other one is headed by the USSR. And here, what is Cold War? Then what do you mean by Cold War? See, it is a restricted rivalry. It is a restricted rivalry. Nirbandhita Vairatva. It is a restricted rivalry that developed after the Second World War. It developed after the Second World War between the United States and the Soviet Union along with their allies. What is allies? Those countries following the leaders, those countries which were along with the leaders. So, on the one side you have USA and their allies, and on the other side you have the USA and their allies, their countries following them. So, there was a restricted rivalry between these two blocks, and that was the situation. That was in the year 1960. At this time, it was 1960, the height of the Cold War, the situation, political condition was such that it was at its zenith. And our author, that is Vladimir Kalisberg, he was in Moscow doing research. What was his subject? He was doing research on the theory of seismic waves. What is seismic waves? Seismic waves means bhukampana alegalu, bhukampada alegalu, seismic waves, that is tremors. What is tremors? Have you heard of this word? Tremor is shaking or to and fro movement, or you can say vibration, shaking of the earth plate. So, tremors generated by an earthquake. When any earthquake takes place, you can find the movement of the surface of the earth, and here our scientist Kalisberg studied this subject, studied the cause of the movement and studied the nature of movement of the earth surface. So, that is what his subject of study, that is study of theory on seismic waves. The tremors, what is tremors? Tremors is movement or shaking of the earth's surface by an earthquake. When any earthquake happens, we will have that feeling, right? We will have the feeling as if we are moving, we are shaken, isn't it? So, that is what tremor. I was absorbed in my problem. Who is I here? Who is I here? That is the writer, Callis Burke. He was completely absorbed in his problem and he enjoyed. I have told you what is the best reward for the scientists. What is their charm? They are charmed by the experiments and discovery. And the same way here our writer, he enjoyed the mathematical challenge. He enjoyed the mathematical challenge. But while doing all these research, while studying about this seismic waves, he never thought that it may come to help in our real life one fine day. So, I did not give much thought. I did not give much thought. What do you mean by this? He never thought. I did not give much thought means he never thought that it will come to use in the real life. He did not think that it will come to the use in our real life. So, I did not give much thought to how it connects with the real life, So, therefore, without having that knowledge, he was just interested in finding the truth. He was only interested in discovering the truth behind these tremors and causes and the nature. Yes, that is the scientist. Thank you, my dear students. We will be back with some more interesting things in our next class. Thank you very much.